Welcome back, friends. It's good to see you again. So far, we have discussed the role of the United States, of Israel, of parts of Europe, and of course, and the impact on Iran. But there's another actor or another group of actors who are equally important. These are the Muslim countries or Arab countries in West Asia. The Arab countries of today, Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Kuwait, Syria, Lebanon, and so on, they are creations of Western imperialism. After the end of the First World War, when the Ottoman Empire stood defeated, both French and the British, who were the main actors, carved out parts of the Ottoman Empire into separate countries. And in each case, they installed a puppet, one who was pro-British or pro-French, to rule those countries. And that formative structure still remains. Up till today, the security apparatus of the West Asian countries, the major ones, are run by British MI6 or the American CIA. This may come as a surprise to many, but it is important to note that these Gulf monarchies, in the old tradition of monarchies, do not trust their own people, do not want to have armed forces of their own to function as part of the state. They do have some of their men and women in arms, but these local militias are controlled and managed by British and United States security agencies, so that they make sure these local militias don't plot against the royal family. And that is a major issue that the royal family has been trying to cope with, but also have been masking the reality for the outside world. You may have recently heard that the UAE gave an expensive airplane from the royal fleet as a gift to Donald J. Trump. And the gift was not a gift, it was obviously a bribe, because it is American intelligence that is helping the Gulf monarchies to stay in power. It's the Gulf American intelligence and British intelligence providing security, as I said, to these rulers. And that came out very clearly at the political level when the UN Security Council debated the creation of what is called the Board of Peace. And in that conference, all Arab countries voted for the United States to create the Board of Peace, and unfortunately, the Russians and the Chinese abstained from the vote rather than vetoing it. Their argument is that most Arab countries were supporting the creation of the Board of Peace with President Trump as the lifetime head of the Board of Peace. And therefore, they did not want to go against the broad Arab opinion and therefore desisted from vetoing that resolution. The Arab countries are again at it. A few days ago, a UN Security Council resolution voted, believe it or not, declaring that Iran is the aggressor in the current conflict. When it's obvious that the US and Israel carried out the assassination attempt, the decapitation attack on Iran, killed off its leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, and several others, and has been threatening Iran with war. And when Iran retaliated by hitting other Arab countries which were providing bases for the US military escalation. The UN Security Council has adopted a draft resolution claiming that Iran is the aggressor. Why? They say because Iran attacked other Arab countries without any cause. But the fact that the United States attacked Iran without any cause is completely ignored. That the US attacked Iran when there was no proof that Iran was about to attack the US. The Security Council did not consider it necessary to condemn the United States for arbitrary action and for unilateral aggression against Iran. But they adopted a resolution in which Iran, in an almost Orwellian way, Iran has been declared the aggressor in this conflict. Now, this only goes to show to the degree to which most of the Arab rulers, the Arab rulers are in the pay of the United States and UK. And therefore, we have to understand the Israeli conflict, the Arab-Israeli conflict as a conflict between Israel and selected Arab countries which are willing, or selected Muslim countries which are willing to stand up to the West and especially to the United States. So there is no widespread Arab-Israeli conflict. It's a conflict between those Arab countries that are willing to challenge Western power and therefore are subject to violence by the West and its proxy or its agent, Israel. So that in understanding the conflict in West Asia, it is important to consider that it is not simply the West against Iran. It is the West plus other Arab vassal states in West Asia who together have ganged up against Iran. And which is why the Iranian foreign minister has repeatedly called on the Muslim countries to stand together. But that has not succeeded so far, partly because the Arab countries, especially the petro monarchies, the governments are riddled with CIA and MI6 operatives, and they virtually control the security apparatus. And therefore, the leaders in those countries are not in any way willing to challenge Israel or the United States, and in fact, they prefer to go along with them to crush Iran. And here, it's important to think back to 1952, when Nasser of Egypt, Abdul Nasser of Egypt, took on the West. And it was the United States, Britain, and Israel who together attacked Nasser in 1952 in Egypt. And in that war, also, the Arab monarchies stood on the side of Israel and the United States. And nothing has changed from 1952 to the present. The Arab monarchies continue to back the United States and Israel. And you may remember, in the course of this conflict, it also became evident and brought out to light that the petromonarchies had been supplying petroleum, oil resources to Israel to keep its war machine going against Iran and Hamas. So it's not just the Palestinians who are at risk, but also Iran is at risk, more importantly because of the role of the Muslim countries, especially the Arab countries in West Asia. And it's fair to say that these Muslim countries, on the side of the United States and Israel, have actually been a very important contributor to the disaster unfolding in West Asia. The sooner these Muslim countries pull out of the American orbit and reassert themselves as independent states, the way Iran did, and the way Syria did, and the way Libya did, the sooner the conflict will be solved. And I would like to end this note on this discussion on a positive note, that the fact that Iran has been able to build a military capability capable of taking on Israel is a very positive sign. It means that there is a chance that the Middle East, what they call the Middle East, and what I call West Asia, that the war in West Asia, and especially the destructive role of Israel, can be brought to an end. Let's stop here, my friend, and let's watch the situation as it unfolds over the next few days. Thank you for being with me. Please like and subscribe, and goodbye.